it's something you can take care of.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
we're not prophets of doom.
Right. And just watch the balance.
I did have a cancer operation there
Okay.
Okay.
Well, look at it
about
again.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, you have new life being breathed into you, they're telling me.
Uh-huh.
So look at the future with complete confidence that you're going to be in it, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right?
Are you telling me I'll be around a while?
Yeah.
Okay, thank
So
you
behave
very
yourself, okay?
Bye-bye.
And good night, thank you. What a great spirit. You know?
Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
That was sweet. I love that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Phoenix Red Hawk is going to be at the Green Earth on Saturday with Lonnie for ear candling and hand reflexology. And that's at 1 p.m., December 17th, this Saturday in Riverhead at the Green Earth. I just wanted everybody to know that and take advantage. The weather is so mild and it's so local and it's so worth doing. It's amazing for the sinuses, and she'll explain it to you when she does Reiki and hand reflexology. So shout out to Phoenix and hello. And I wanted to give a shout out also to Harry and Anne Marie. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I love you both. Now to get back to the stone.
Yeah.
Did you say when you found the stone 7 years later it started speaking to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
How long have you had your necklace as a gift?
Oh, I've had it only a few years.
Oh, okay.
As soon as, about 3 years. As soon as that arrived, I started channeling. From this, started to write, you know, and there was, usually I'm not too interested in religion, you know, and all of a sudden I was channeling, and it was telling me how important the symbolisms that were developed in religions, and that's not just the current ones like Christianity, but throughout the ages, and I got a whole new interpretation on the life of Christ.
Oh,
yeah.
Can you share some? Can you, or is it?
Yeah, many of his parables, many of his teachings, he was basically, he was very connected to aliens. I wouldn't be surprised if he was an alien himself. They didn't say that, but they said he was one of those who were chosen to channel.
Okay.
And he talked about you can't put new wine into old wineskins. And the channeling of the stone said that every experience we have, like for instance, a lot of people are talking about consciousness now. Well, consciousness is just a container for the information, for the truth. No religion ever had the truth. They were all in the business of creating containers for the truth. That was the Ark of the Covenant, and so many other things. No, there is no truth in religion. They're preparing the container, and once the container is ready, the truth starts to come. And in Christianity, they call it the Holy Spirit. In Egypt, they call it Ka. In Asia, they call it Chi. You know, it's radiation from the Big Bang. It's all the information we need to expand and to go. And we, on this planet, are the center of the universe. There is nowhere else in the universe that this kind of intelligent life can exist. There's a lot of life out there, and there's a lot of different kinds of intelligence, but none of it is peaking the way we are.
Wow.
You know, and that's why they're back. They're back to get the creativity back, and also to infuse us with some of the information that we need, because they are saying that we're almost, the container is almost ready. You see, what they did is they left the planet some 36,000.
And they didn't give. Did they give you a future year for that, or it's obscure as to when?
What do you mean?
When the container, you said, is almost ready.
It's ready now.
It's ready now.
It's ready.
Yeah.
That's what
Right.
2012 is all about.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
end of the Mayan calendar. It's not the end of the calendar. It's the midpoint of the expansion of the universe. It's the midpoint.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's where everything. It's almost like everything going in a different direction, which is not quite true, but
Right.
it's the midpoint of expansion, and your human form and my human form is not going to be the same a couple of generations from now, because we have the ability to organize DNA, to create new creatures, to create new containers, and to evolve in a dynamic way. We're worried about climate change. We're worried about the way the planet is going, the nations and the politics. That is the old wineskin, the old container falling apart to reassemble itself into something new.
So those
to
worries
contain.
won't even be valid anymore.
No, they won't.
Yeah.
There'll be a die-off of this and that and so forth, but the container's ready. The people are ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when we learn more about ourselves, we'll age sweeter.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you know, especially when we learn how to not stress,
Yeah.
because that's what you see on an aged face.
There's an interesting thing that they said, that the DNA of love, there's a DNA that causes humans to love, which is their salvation.
Right.
And the DNA of love forces change. And an example of that, which we discussed before, is that in religions and societies, they want you to marry within
Your faith.
your
yeah,
faith.
yeah.
They want you to marry within your nationality, etc.
yeah.
And the reason they want you to do that is to keep the old container there. They're very comfortable in it. But if you fall in love with a stranger outside, you know, change happens to you. You see them differently, and you see yourself differently, and it breaks the old patterns. So the love changes not only the environment, the social status of people
Yeah.
and stuff. It literally, the more you do it, it literally softens up, changes the DNA, so that you're able to cope with the future, which is filled with change.
Yeah.
And if you can't love, you cannot change.
Wow.
You cannot change. If you hold tight on something like you do with religion, like you do with politics.
Well, that's what I felt about the
then-
Republicans you were talking about. I
Yeah.
kept seeing the tightness.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not that they're bad people. They're
No.
people that do not understand the nature, you know, and do not understand the nature of love.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things, for instance, Jesus broke away from Judaism in a way, but he was still Jewish. But he expanded his experiences to the outsiders.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
which really makes it a modern religion at that time, 2,000 years ago. It was very modern because it expanded itself, it opened.
Right.
Now, my container has expanded because I went through several careers. And in one of the careers, my pals and friends were prostitutes, thieves, the Italian Jewish mafia in New Orleans. Another experience was being in religious life and being very meditative. Another experience was teaching in the university and all. And I had to learn the values of all these things. And I also lived with hillbillies at one time. People that were spitting in jars and
Yeah.
and
Got
I
a
was in
taste of
love.
everything.
Yeah, and the only reason I was there was because I loved them. And
Everyone's lovable.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that makes you expand.
Yeah.
You know, then all of a sudden you don't have fear. You're not afraid to walk in somewhere because you know you're not in a strange world.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah.
I know that you said for one of the callers you were going to maybe use the stone. So maybe
yeah.
we'll see what this caller has to and see if you feel that,
All right,
that it
all
would be
right.
appropriate.
Yeah.
We'll see. Good evening and welcome to Psychic Perceptions.
Hi.